Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. The Justice League movie has made it to the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. And actually, it has reached number one. Yeah, it has reached number one. It's the top DVD Blu-ray disc sale, at least as of 3/17/18. That's March 17, 18. So the top 20 NPD video scan first alert powered by Nielsen chart for the week ended on that. And number one is Justice League. After that is Thor Ragnarok, Ferdinand, Coco, The Shape of Waters, etc., etc. But it is number one. And that is actually should be really nice and pleasing for Warner Brothers. Although the other side of that coin is that it's actually 44% lower in the first week than what Thor Ragnarok had done in the first week. So that's, I don't know, there's no actual numbers. There's some people who have reported actual numbers. I'm not sure if those are accurate or not. I like to think they are, but I'm not going to report it here just in case they're not. I haven't researched into it. And there are still two sides of the parties here. There's the one party that says you have to buy these movies. You have to buy the Blu-ray. You have to buy all these DVDs in order to get that Snyder Cut that you want, because they need to use that money to make the Snyder Cut. And then the other side of the party is saying that no, we're not going to support that. We have to show Warner Brothers that we don't want this cut so that they make the Snyder Cut, and then we'll buy that one. So there's two different sides of that party, and it's still there. We won't know what exactly Warner Brothers' intentions are yet. Hopefully we'll know in San Diego Comic-Con. Hopefully we'll know at all. I don't know if we're going to know at all, but I am really hoping, crossing my fingers, that a Snyder Cut has already been pre-planned and they're just trying to double dip on us, okay? So that's my hope in any case, and I'm not sure if that is the case or not. Not sure. But if you are not happy with the current Justice League and you wish those Return of Superman scenes were added to the movie, you wish there was something more to that movie, you wanted more of the Snyder vision of it, and if you're happy with the theatrical cut, then great. I'm glad you're happy with the theatrical cut. I have a few friends who are 100% happy with the theatrical cut. Great, that's awesome. But there are people out there who are not happy for it and love to see more. I liked the movie, but I didn't love it, and I do want to see a little bit more. I want to see other people's cuts to see how that flows better and goes more closer to the Snyders Vision. Now, I did the review for Justice League The Ultimate Fan Edition by YourMovieFix. The other review, you can see it on my channel, and I thought that was actually a little bit closer to Snyders Vision. I know people are kind of laughed at that, but you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm saying closer than the theatrical cut. I didn't say by a mile, but it is closer to the Snyder Cut, or at least what we perceive as Snyder's Vision. And then these two other cuts came out. One from at KryptonsCodex. I think he calls himself George. He put out one called The Fan Cut. And then Heroic.Gateway, which was released today that everybody was waiting for. It was called The Ultimate Fan Cut. So there's three of them, right? The first one's the Ultimate Fan Edition, which I reviewed. The Fan Cut, which is by KryptonsCodex. And then there is the Ultimate Fan Cut that Heroic.Gateway was hyping up. And so all three is now available. I'll put it in my description below so that you can go ahead and watch that. Now, the description is that little thing down here that you press the arrow and it pulls it down, then you can see it. That's the description. So you'll see it there. All three cuts. They're on two's on Mega Upload, and one of them is on Vimeo right now. Although I think KryptonsCodex, I hope you're doing a streamable version, because that was a little bit choppy of the that Windows Media video file. I don't know if it's my phone. That's the only way I can watch it. I could watch it here. I could try it, but that's how I watched yours. In any case, so all three cuts. All right. This is me. This is just my opinion. Is that at KryptonsCodex, the fan cut is actually the better out of the three. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why in a little bit. First of all, the Ultimate Fan Edition and the Ultimate Fan Cut. There are great pieces. There are fan service pieces. Okay, they actually put flashbacks from the other films, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman. They do a lot of that. They added in certain cut scenes that you see in the trailers. They put the Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL music. Yes, and for the most part, they play out almost pretty much the same as how the movie was played out. I'd say Ultimate Fan Edition is a little bit more different than Ultimate Fan Cut, but the Ultimate Fan Cut, which is by Heroic.Gateway, actually brings a lot more stuff. They actually have a Green Lantern end post-credit scene. It's very small. It's actually, the scene is taken from Batman v Superman, but they add a little bit of green, if you know what I mean, to that, and that's pretty cool. And they do a lot of that stuff, but for the most part, it feels the same as the actual movie. They even kept John Williams' score, and they kept some of Danny Elfman's Tim Burton Batman score in there. I think in the way they're trying to appease both sides of fans, like people who love that nostalgia factor and the new. So they try to combine it each, and I commend them for that. That's pretty cool. And just like the Ultimate Fan Edition. Although Ultimate Fan Edition took out those music's pieces completely. The Ultimate Fan Cut still had some jokey, just a little bit of that Whedon-esque jokes in there, so they didn't completely take that out, I don't believe. No, I'm trying to remember now. Well, they didn't have the boob planting of Wonder Woman, but it did have that awkward look between him instead of cutting it out completely. And the race at the end between Superman and Flash. Towards the end when they're saving the people. So for most part, it played out pretty much the same as the movie, with included the Return of Superman scenes in it at the right places, I believe, good places, and sorry. I lost my train of thought. So anyway, the Ultimate Fan Edition was a good. I commend them for that. It's just like the Ultimate Fan Cut, lots of fan service. They even did some fan service in terms of music, is that the Justice League animated theme comes on at the end when it pulls out and you see them all standing there after the final battle. The Ultimate Fan Edition had the Justice League theme song at the beginning in the front credits. I think that worked better for me. So in terms of fan service, I think these two Ultimates do really well. But the reason why I loved the fan cut a lot more is that they don't do that. Okay, it's a subtle. They do subtle things in like how I think Zack Snyder would have done. Zack Snyder would have done, like, for instance, when he sees Lois and they're at the Kent farm, they don't have to resort to flashbacks. And even the beginning movie, they don't have to resort to flashbacks to tell you what's going on. They don't have to tell you that this is how many months later or something like that. Even though, Zack Snyder did that in Ultimate Edition, the Batman v Superman 18 months later or whatever like that. But for this, it's kind of, you kind of know that there's a passing of time in a sense. So, and I like how the fan cut actually utilizes Wonder Woman's speech on the history scene as the first thing you see. And nobody has done that but them. And I love that, because I really do believe that should have been the opening scene. It may not have had Wonder Woman's voiceover, but with Wonder Woman's voiceover, and it starts with Wonder Woman, it almost like Wonder Woman's taking the ride, taking you through the ride for this. She's actually the primary actress in this, and everybody's just secondary. So I liked how that played out, especially after coming off Wonder Woman. I think it might have worked well in the theaters by having you be in Wonder Woman's perspective instead of Batman. because people at that time loved Wonder Woman. But with that said in mind, I liked how it's the history scene. It gets to the Wonder Woman. I wish that little scene didn't white out fast when she did that, and the explosion through the building. I wish we actually see a little more of that. Of course, not much you can work with. How does that cut to anything else, you know? So I get it. I understand. I like how this was different than the other ones because Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Wonder Woman find the rest of the team members. They have the cut scene where he says she's talking to him about Aquaman, and he says, you know that interaction between Bruce Wayne and Diana where they talk about Aquaman, says more or less, or more or more or less, you know? And so that part is included into this. They talk a little bit more about finding the team. That's a little bit more, and that's good. I like that. And I like that little montage, and gets him, he tells her where he's been, and he goes into the him finding Aquaman. So that's cool. The getting from Barry to the fighting Barry with Henry Allen, when that visit at the prison visit, and then it cuts directly into Bruce Wayne fighting him. I like that. That's a better transition, I believe. I like how they included Cyborg in the armor, not in the sweater when he looks up, and I like how it looks at the symbol for a second more, so that you know that he took off his sweater, and then he's looking up at it, at the symbol. I love the music. The music has no, at least I don't think so. It does have no Danny Elfman in here. They don't use Mad Max Fury Road. They don't use They use a specific music from Wonder Woman, I believe, from Batman v Superman, from Man of Steel. At least that's how I interpret it. They don't do any fan service with Justice League Animated, which I don't think Zack Snyder would have done that anyway. And that's the point, Zack Snyder would have shown these scenes without having to resort to flashback he's always very subtle in making references and Easter eggs. It's not very blaring and there in your face. It doesn't actually just boom, it's very subtle, and you'll get that references without having actually be told. It's not spoon fed to you. And so I think that's why this cut, actually the fan cut, KryptonsCodex, actually makes it a better working fan for that. Although there's some music parts are a little bit choppy, but I think it might have been just my video, so I'm really looking forward to the streamable version of it, so that I can see it without the weird choppiness of the whole thing. I like how Superman, even though it's cool to see Superman and Flash trying to race and save people, I felt like that was added in the last second by Joss Whedon, so I'm wondering what the actual thing is. So having Superman stay for the entire battle actually works out for me. Having him fight him and fly back and punch him down, it's ruthless and much more effective, I think, in having him not cut away. We don't ever show the family at all, at least for a little. I don't think, I'm starting to get mixed up with all these cuts, but I'm pretty sure the fan cut didn't show any of that Russian family at all. And it's much more clear cut. It's shorter. It's shorter than the others. It's like an hour and 30 something minutes to it. So, but I feel like that's a little bit better. Like, that could have been the theatrical Snyder version, and then we'll get the unlimited edition version where it actually has more scenes that are added. That felt like a cut that was cut down from a larger movie, because it just felt like more Snyderish. Although I think the fan cut's the one with the weird, I know they're trying to make it more blue with the ending. I don't think that was necessary. It actually kind of made my eyes a little bit hurt for that, but I can see why they did that, because the original, before the red scenes, it was actually more darker blue in any case, so I totally understand that. Although I like the Ultimate Fan Edition one, where, not the fan edition, the Ultimate Fan Cut, Heroic Gateways, where they used action reaction music in some of in the action scenes. I forget when. I think it was when Wonder Woman fights Steppenwolf. I like that. So There's so many different things, so many different aspects that of each I could pull apart and wish they combine it together to make my own opinions best fan cut. Okay, and now I understand everybody has their own way of thinking how this should go, but for me, that the fan cut is the closest, the best one out of the three. Okay, for me, that's the best one out of three. Now I want to see someone actually start the movie where it's after the history, and then it actually starts with Bruce Wayne with a beard out in the snow. If someone could do that, that would be very interesting to see how that actually plays out, because I think those are more closer than what actually happened. I don't know. I could be wrong. All right. Well, anyway, go ahead and check out these cuts. Let me know what you think. Which one is the better cut to you? Not saying that any of them is better than each other. It's just, to me, it feels more like what Snyder would have done. But I enjoy the fan service level of the other two. I enjoy the homage and tribute, the feeling of the tribute being more of a tribute for the other two cuts, and I think they're all great. I think everybody should just keep making them. If you keep making them, I'll keep watching them. Okay, that's my takeaway from this, and it still breaks my heart that it just makes me want to see the Snyder Cut more. You know, it just makes me want to see the Snyder Cut more, to see what that true vision is. Even though it's not the true vision, because the true vision would have been part 1 and part 2. But you know, enough of that. So anyway, I hope you guys see it. Check out the videos below. And let me know what you think about that. And that's pretty much it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.